Hello and welcome to my speed paint of Wildberry Cookie from Cookie Run Kingdom. It's a new addition to my team, so I thought it would be nice to give him fan art, you know? When I first got him, I sort of neglected him because I had Hollyberry Cookie and I thought that would be enough. But, after seeing the rank metas, I realized I am gravely mistaken and that I do need him on my team. So by the looks of it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, but this was actually a result of a 2-week drawing rut. For most people, 2 weeks is not that much. It's not that bad. But for a person like me, who always has probably 2 drawings done every week, I've essentially missed 4 drawings, and that's quite a lot. So basically during those 2 weeks, I would draw something, and then I would throw it away. I just never had anything that I liked enough to fully finish. So I was like, oh no, what do I do with my Instagram? My followers, my people have things that they want to see from me. And so, yes, I worked very hard on getting myself back on track. I feel like the longest drawing hiatus I probably ever had was a month or a little bit longer than that. See, I think that was a couple years ago, actually. And that was mostly because I felt like I didn't have the skills needed to keep doing what I was doing. Like, I could see things in my head, but I could just never translate that to a drawing. But luckily, over time, I decided to jump back into it. Now, that was mostly inspired by going back to anime. That was also the time where I didn't watch anything or really play any games related to things that I would want to draw. So, yeah, surprisingly. I've been wanting to do an iPad drawing ASMR for almost the longest time, but I have not been able to because I keep having sneezing fits. Yes, you heard me right. Sneezing fits. See, naturally, you wouldn't sneeze that much, right? Yet for some reason, whenever the camera's on and like pointing at my drawing, want to pick up those Apple Pen noises on the slick iPad, but I cannot because I keep sneezing every single time. I don't know why. Like, obviously, you could just like cut that part out, right? But the thing is, it's not just one sneezing, it's an interval of sneezing, and I just cannot stop. Maybe, is this some type of like psychological thing where I do not just want to be watched while drawing or something? I don't know. But also, my environment isn't exactly the best for ASMRs, as the fans going off, the dogs barking, the family coming in and barging in like it's their room. Yeah. That's why it just cannot be a reality. You're just gonna have to deal with speed pains, unfortunately. But hopefully these videos are still just as entertaining. Because, yeah, maybe you'll see one day. Just not anytime soon. With this drawing, of course, as always, I circle back into drawing portraits because that's what I do best. As much as I would like to go out of my comfort zone and start doing full body drawings and more like design, more emphasis on design, I just always end up going straight back to fan art, like fan art portraits. There's so many things that I could be doing, but I always just end up going back to faces, like in the long run. There was a time where I came across a lot of people who were talking about how same face syndrome is terrible and that you need to change, you need to get better at different things and aspects of drawing to become a better artist in general. And for the most part, they're sort of not wrong. It's good to go out of your comfort zone and get better at other things, but at the same time, I think it's not the best advice to give, because hearing that, for me, sort of just put this pressure or like guilt of some sort onto me whenever I would just draw more faces or portraits. Even though there was nothing wrong with it, I guess. There's really nothing wrong with doing what you want to do, but I just feel like that advice is kind of not always the most helpful. That advice is not always the best way to put it. See, that's probably the issue. It's just not the right way to put it. Now, even now, to this day, I still think about it. Like, even as I was just talking about it, I went straight back to my comfort zone of portraits. Like, I obviously felt that guilt where it's like, oh, all my drawings are the same. It's just a face, but like of a different character, of a different person. And there's nothing wrong with that, but for some reason I still feel that because it's the same thing that I always do, that it's inherently somewhat wrong, even though there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know, maybe it's just weird with me, but yeah, just wanted to talk about that for a bit. This is probably a part that many of you guys probably do not notice or care about at all, but when I drew the left ear, no, technically his right ear, but my left, on my left, his ear, it did not match the one on the right, and it looked more cartoon than the other one, so that's why it really bothered me. It bothered me to the point that I wanted to just go back into it and fix it, but I was like, no, people won't notice that, right? I mean, you guys probably didn't notice, right? No, okay. Dude, I swear, it's over. I nitpick my drawing over the littlest details all the time. And I let it go. That's the best option, is to let it go. It's not that big of a deal. Other people probably do not care about it. They do not focus on that thing. But I guess maybe it's because with digital art, you can like zoom in very much on many different aspects of the drawing, so that's why more often than not, you tend to put too much detail into an area over another. Rather than like the whole picture, it's just very pinpointed. And that's the thing that a lot of digital artists will probably have to be careful about. Since I know I have that problem. For the sake of your sanity, you do not have to go into that many details, as most people do not end up seeing it. But for your own personal achievement, go ahead if you like it. I'm just saying, it's a problem that you're gonna have to deal with if you go into digital art, most likely. Oh, also, I hope you guys don't mind the sort of like mixed style speed paint videos, because there are points of my drawing progress where I just do not want to film it, mostly because it's like a feeling thing. If I don't feel like it, I'm not gonna do it. So that's why for those parts I have to add in the speed paint from the time-lapse. I'll try to stick to the style where I keep the beginning sketch and towards the end of the drawing to be the Procreate time-lapse speed paint style, because those are the points of the drawing where I usually do not want to record with the camera. I think it'd be better to just speed through the sketch and then get to the more like detailed coloring parts, because I like watching those. Hopefully you guys are okay with that as well. And yeah, it looks like that's about all I have for this video. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!